According to Urban Dictionary, this is a combination of autumn crafts and Halloween crafts. Today's video is an inspiration recreation video. I was inspired by Caitlin from Crafts from Caitlin, and I've linked some of her videos down in my description box below. She is an amazing creator. Please check her out and give her some love. Thanks! Jumping into craft number 1. To make this craft today, we're going to be using the bottle cap sign from the Dollar Tree, some cute wood ornaments, and some fabric. I'm going to start by painting my wood ornament with some Waverly white paint. And this craft is very versatile, so if you don't want to do a ghost, grab any other wood ornament that you like. And once the paint has dried, I'm going to take just a tiny bit of black paint and I'm going to dry brush this with very little paint and try to make some little swooshes in my ghost so it looks like the ghost is floating. And then I'm just going to dry brush around the edges of the ghost and around the eyes. And while our ghost is drying, I'm going to remove the hanger from our bottle cap. Next, I'm going to grab out that fabric and I'm going to lay that out. And I'm just going to cut a circle that will fit inside of my bottle cap. Now let's grab our Mod Podge and we're going to paint the inside circle of the bottle cap. And once that is completely coated and while it is still wet, we're going to go ahead and lay that fabric over the top of this Mod Podge. And to pat this down, I'm just grabbing a baby wipe because I couldn't find my saran wrap, and I'm just going to pat down the fabric to make sure it is completely secure on this bottle cap. Let's set that aside to dry. We're going to go back to our cute little ghost here, and I'm grabbing some scrapbooking paper, and it's just a piece of scrap paper that I had in the color black, and we're just going to go ahead and glue stick this onto the back side of the ghost so it looks like the ghost has black eyes and a black mouth. Next, let's hot glue the cute little ghost right on top of our bottle cap. And to cover the hole in the ornament, I'm just going to use a black and white checkered bow, and I'm just going to hot glue that right on top of the ghost's head. So I wanted to frame the edges on this bottle cap. So I'm using some cotton rope that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I tied 3 strands together, and I'm going to use some painter's tape here, and we're just going to tape this right down to our surface. And I'm doing a just basic 3-strand braid. Now using some hot glue, I'm going to glue this braid right on the inside of this circle. And now we have a happy spooky ghost to hang out for Halloween. Craft number 2. So this is one of my favorite crafts from the video. It's really basic, but it's something that could be really fun to do with a group of people. If you get these cute little ceramic discs from the Dollar Tree, and then you can have all your guests bring different kinds of napkins, and you guys could do a napkin exchange and Mod Podge your napkins onto these cute discs. It would be so much fun. So back to the craft. So all I did here was remove the string from this cute little disc. And now I'm taking my napkin and I'm going to take a little piece of blue painter's tape to remove the backing on this napkin. Now I'm just going to trim the napkin up just to make it a little bit easier to work with, and then I'll set that aside. Now we're going to grab some Mod Podge and I'm going to paint a nice layer of Mod Podge over the top of this disc. And once all of the Mod Podge has dried, we'll take the napkin and we're just going to center it onto the disc. Now I'm going to grab a piece of parchment paper and lay that over the top of the napkin. And using my iron, I'm just going to iron this napkin right onto the disc. Now I'm going to grab my handy dandy zip sander and we're just going to sand in a downward motion all the way around the disc. And I'm using the back side of a paintbrush just to poke the holes back into the disc. And to seal this disc, I wanted to use triple thick because it gives a nice glossy coat on the top. And I'm just going to paint that over the top of the whole entire project. For the hanger on this, I'm going to use a ribbon in the color green just to kind of match up with the napkin. And I'm just going to tie a nice knot at the top. And for my final embellishment, I'll add a quick raffia bow right to the center. Now this project is complete. This is a fun, happy sign you're ready to hang. And as I said earlier, I really think this is a wonderful project for a group setting. Now speaking of groups, I am honored this month to be guest hosting with Amanda from 6 Kids and a Glue Gun and Charlene from Crafty Art Shacks, the Falloween Open Challenge Recreation Inspiration. I have linked the playlist in the description box below. Please join me in watching and supporting these fellow crafters. Rolling on to craft number 3. So I got these beautiful napkins last year on clearance at the mall, and I've been waiting a year to use them, so I wanted to use them for this craft. I'm going to start by removing the different layers off of the napkin, and now I'm going to grab a piece of wood that I got at the Dollar Tree, and these wood pieces are great for crafts as a base. And I'm adding a little bit of Mod Podge over the top and then allowing that to dry. Now while that's drying, I grabbed some of these wood letters from Walmart and I'm spelling out the word boo. And I put these on a paintable surface and we're going to use our black paint here and just paint them black. Set those aside and go back to our board. I grabbed the napkin that we took apart earlier and we're just going to set that right on top of our board. Now I'm going to grab a piece of parchment paper and I'm going to use my hot iron and we're just going to iron this napkin straight onto the board. Next we're going to grab our zip sander and we're just going to sand down in a downward motion. And using the corner of the zip sander, we'll run the zip sander right down these little creases in the wood, and this helps us remove any of that excess napkin. Now let's grab our Mod Podge again and do a quick coat of Mod Podge over the top of the napkin to seal everything in. And while that is drying, let's finish working on some of our accessories. This cute little wood ghost I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use some Waverly White chalk paint and just paint the ghost white. And once the white paint has dried, I grab a little bit of black paint and we're just going to do some little accents on the ghost just to let him look like he's floating around. Now for the fun part, we have all of our pieces and let's put our sign together. I'm using some hot glue and adding the little ghost. And then we're going to spell out the word boo. So we're going to add that with some hot glue as well. And last but not least, we're going to add a little checkered bow to the top of the ghost's head just to cover that little circle at the top. And now this adorable Halloween sign is complete. Craft number 4. For this craft, we're going to start with a white candle from the Dollar Tree. I'm using an egg carton as an extra set of hands here just to help hold everything in place. Next, we're going to take the top layer of a napkin and we're going to just paint the napkin straight onto this candlestick. What I've found with these napkins and this candle is it takes about 3 different turns to get the whole entire thing covered with the Mod Podge. So I'll start with one side and I will cover everything with the Mod Podge on that one side and set it aside for a half an hour to dry. And then I will flip the candle over and do the next third of the candle, and then I'll do the same thing a half an hour later on the last. On the last turn here, I do have to trim some of the napkin off of this candle, and we're just going to let that overlap just a little bit on the side. It'll be a small seam, but you won't really see it once you've laid down that Mod Podge. One thing I like about doing the Mod Podge in this technique is it gives the candle a different look. It's more of a rough and crinkly look instead of that smooth texture that we get when we iron down the Mod Podge. For the top of the candlestick, I did trim a lot of the napkin off, but I do Mod Podge down the rest along the top rim of the candle. And here's what it looks like when it's all dry. I did think that it needed a little extra, so I added a nice little twine bow to the top. And I think this candle just turned out lovely, and it'll be a great addition to your fall decor. Let's move on to craft number 5. Now this craft is super easy. I am using some felt that has a sticker on the back side of it, but you could use black stickers, you could do some sort of construction paper or anything that is black to make little circle eyes. And we're just going to add some circle eyes to this candle from the Dollar Tree, and it gives it a little bit of a ghost look. And I thought that the eyes weren't quite enough, so I'm going to add a cute little ribbon at the top. And we could stop right here, but I thought it needed a little bit more, so I added a mouth to our ghost as well. And our spooky candle is complete. Quick, easy, and fun. I hope this video inspires you to create something fun for Falloween. Thank you for watching. Craft more, stress less.